Hey everyone. Just a few days ago, I made a video about the shocking news that came out of nowhere of Donald Trump almost getting shot. That was one of those stories that was so abrupt, it felt impossible to just walk by it. Like how often you see, in a modern age, a political candidate barely getting shot by the head. I mean, just even the next day on a Monday or Sunday, you have people make 3D renders of how just by him turning his head to the left by 10 degrees, it barely grazed his ear. I feel like every person in America, regardless of their political stance, would have been in shock by that fact. Which is funny because I'm not seeing a comment on Twitter being like, that person, the guy that almost shot Donald Trump, he's the most hated guy in America. Because one side that supports Donald Trump, they hate him for almost killing him. The other side, for missing the shot and f***ing up miserably. But now, I'm making another video about this because that caused a huge divide on social media where people very passionate about politics have just been digging into each other's throats for what they've been saying by either believing that it was an act from God or a very depressing attempt. I feel like normally talking about politics online always leads to a volatile domino reaction, but for this event I think it was way more explosive because when a Trump supporter hears from someone else that the candidate should have been shot in the head, they become way more aggressive. So I understand that. It's only a natural byproduct of what you say and people can react in whatever shape or form they want. However, I think that starts to border on being too extreme and heinous when that person gets targeted and recorded out in public, where that result leads to something that's completely unwarranted for what they actually said. And honestly, the explanation, that introduction, is a complete disservice to how insane the story is and how upset I feel for this woman in the video, who was an employee at a Home Depot, one of those hardware stores, and was fired for saying that Donald J. Trump deserved having a bullet scramble the inside of his brains. Or at least, that's what it seems he said, for the way she was treated. Because this video was a guy arguing with her for what he said on Facebook a day prior, attacking her for just that comment. That right there that I'm showing, just that. Simply saying that the shooter should have been a better shot. She made a following comment after saying that Donald Trump is the actual embodiment of corruption and evil, but that's it. That's honestly the full extent. She's not a menace, she's not in a cult, she doesn't target people that look like Trump and put their head on a pike. She might say more passionate stuff on her profile, but it was solely that comment that fueled this guy to find where she works and antagonize her in the video.
And you think that the shooter should have been a better shot? Is that what you posted on Facebook?
I am at work.
You think that the shooter should have been a shooter, huh?
I am at work.
Yeah, I think that's pretty messed up. Pretty anti-American if you ask me. As a veteran, I'm disgusted. What have you provided to this country? Huh? I'm sorry. This is ridiculous. You are ridiculous. And I'm making you famous.
Okay, this is a good video. In the sense that you don't need a strong political opinion to admit that the guy was in a position of power where he could yell at the lady no matter what and she couldn't do nothing because he's an employee. She would get fired. Honestly, I feel bad for her for just having to stand there and do nothing. It takes a lot to make someone go to their workplace and yell at them for a camera, especially when you consider that around the time. No, I mean even now, you still have thousands of comments like that, but way more offensive wording, saying stuff like, Donald Trump deserves to be. So back to what I said, because this video was retweeted by a Twitter account that's pretty popular called Lips of TikTok. And for context, this is one of those accounts on Twitter that if you just scroll down their profile for a few seconds, you'll just hate them passionately. All I know about them is that they're aligned with Trump, but they make the worst posts ever, the kind of things only a brainlet could possibly think of typing. There was an ad campaign from Joe Biden a while ago where he was having dinner with a nice family, and they retweeted with a caption look at Sleepy Joe having dinner with blacks, the most deranged caption someone could possibly think of. Anyways, they retweeted that video of the lady and mentioning Home Depot, asking them if there are a lot of people who work there, where they promote political violence and SS Nat on. I guess that word censored, maybe, I don't know. And the worst part was, it actually worked. They fired her. They did the right thing, abolishing a menace to America, getting rid of this goddamn terror of a minimum wage worker that doesn't deserve free speech. And that's another thing I realized, where if this guy was just recording her and that's where the story finished, then yeah, he would have been a piece of shit. But the fact that an actual company fired her, that's really fucking over her free speech. An idea I know for a fact every single person in America would defend wholeheartedly. Especially by a person that uses the internet and makes a living out of it. Which segues to my other point of this YouTuber, Nugs, who I don't really care about, talking about this video. I don't watch him, but I know him as the guy, the only guy that still uses a VTuber model still nowadays. But that doesn't matter, it's not big of an issue. But it does become an issue when he takes that video that I talked about of that woman and criticizes her for what she said and saying that she deserved to be fired and, recorded because she was hiding behind the internet, as he said.
People that go on social media and they post crap like, oh, it's good, it's a shame that Trump didn't get killed, and shit like that. People feel like they can do that through the safety of their monitor. Through the safety of the internet, you could say whatever the fuck you want and you will have no actual consequences for the shit you do. It's time to see consequences, baby. So she posts on Facebook the shooter should have been a better shot. And she fucked around and found out. Someone actually found her.
She fucked around and found out. God. Okay, I know what you said before, someone's tiny comment shouldn't deserve them getting harassed over it, but I find it so funny that a person using a 3D animated tween is calling out a woman working a shitty job, say she deserves to be dragged out from a basic level of internet privacy and should be flayed alive like a martyr, as well as just the justice in his voice, making it seem like it was righteous. In his defense, somewhat, I think he watched the video at a time where before it was announced that she was fired. So he just talked about it without that knowledge before it happened and saying that she deserved to be confronted. That was it. Because a lot of people from that same Lips of TikTok tweet saying that Home Depot fired her, there were people saying that it was a bit too extreme to actually fire her and that it wasn't justified for what she actually said in the original comment. But at the end of the day, something like this, a video of a woman being confronted for just that comment, shouldn't be made. The guy that made it is a very strong Trump supporter, but I feel like outside of that demographic, people that don't care about politics like me would still admit that they don't want to see a video for being antagonized, much less being fired.